want no drama.
Sina noma my guy.
Chaber dongingero anahero gasianda.
Sina noma my guy.
Leo ni party hadi mchana.
Sina noma my guy.
Sherehe na piganga na kikosi, kwa mfuko pesa haikosi. Mademu wananitanga kiongozi, vile mimi hutesanga Nairobi. Sele zimeripoti, chini tuko kwa magoti. Aki wewe usinirekodi, kesho nipate mmeshaniposti. Niko sherehe mina vibe, nanyi munani analyze. I wonder why, me I'm just tryna catch a wine. We shughulika na your life. Niko sherehe mina vibe, nanyi munani analyze. I wonder why, I'm just tryna catch a wine. We shughulika na your life. Cheki zangu zime nice. Don't you disrespect my lover.
Sina noma my guy.
Tonight I don't want no drama.
Sina noma my guy.
Chaber dongingeo anahero gasianda.
Sina noma my guy.
Leo ni party hadi mchana.
Sina noma my guy.
Sina noma.
Sina noma my guy.
Sina noma.
Sina noma my guy.
Sina
noma my guy.
Chaber dongingeo anahero gasianda.
Sina noma my guy. Nekakana we, nekakana we, nekakana we. Oh neri, nekakana we, nekakana we, nekakana we.
Pawa Radio. Power up.
When niambie, ebu decide, it's not your time. Iyo with that. When niambie, ebu decide, it's not your time. Iyo with that. Unadhani bila wea tuwezi ishi. News flash, tutaishi fiti. Tutakusau kama kamisi. Na memory tutoe kwa akili. Una behave ni kawe tuko na option. Pia sisi, iyo ni caution. Kasi uruma singekuwa na wewe. Usipo change itabidi nitembeze. Last chance, ati last chance. Last chance tuliacha last year. Iyo ndio ufalamista kikusikia. Usipo change, kanyanga. We niambie, ebu decide, it's not your time. Iyo with that. We niambie, ebu decide, it's not your time. Iyo with that. We decide, kauta change, it's not your time. Iyo with that. We niambie, ebu decide, it's not your time. Unani threat, utaniacha, si uniache. Unatu threat, utaacha kazi, si uache. Unadhani tunajali, ujinga ni kudhani bila wewe hatutasonga, tunasonga. Ujinga ni kudhani bila wewe hatutaomoka, tunaomoka. Wewe ni dam dam, you're so damn. Hii dunia si yako pekee, you're so damn. Utashtuka kuna ngoja nikufuate, usipo change kila mtu njia yake. We niambie, ebu decide, it's not your time. Iyo with that. We niambie, ebu decide, it's not your time. Iyo with that. We decide, kauta change, it's not your time. Iyo with that. We niambie, ebu decide, it's not your time.
Safi sana.
Hapo sawa.
Taps on the track, oh. Vile ya ngoma sikona jovleta kuwa tulikuwa najua tuntawaua. Nipe pen, nipe karatasi, mwazo zote zitoke kichwani. Wengi lakini najua mimi niko sawa, mimi ndio kusema, mimi ndio le mbaya. Kalifyote nyuma yangu, mpango ni kuchange industry kwe kwangu. Wape ngoma tamu wasirudi nyuma, sani tunawacheka wakianguka. Genge jina kubwa inasimama, tukitembea kila mali, kila mtu anasema safi sana, safi sana, safi sana. Hapo sawa, asante. Safi sana, safi sana, safi sana. Hapo sawa, asante. Jine na jipa lakini sijaridhika, mavijana kona mimi wazee sijawashika. Pole pole tu watakubali, pole pole tu watelewa lugha mtaani. Nena alisema tutatoboa, hakuna makazi ndo kitu itatuokoa. Shwa bure mimi napiga, tu atakuinua mkono mitaimbia tu. Hivyo hivyo hakuna kuogopa, na uwashonge dhani mimi ni showstopper. Gege ndio inabaki imesimama, baada ya show kila mtu anasema safi sana, safi sana, safi sana. Hapo sawa, asante. Safi sana, safi sana, safi sana. Hapo sawa, asante. Kona support genge shukran sana, kawe ni DJ shukran sana. Maklub zote shukran sana, radio zote shukran sana. Watu wa majuu shukran sana, promota wote shukran sana. Mtaa zote shukran sana, wewe na wewe shukran sana. TV zote shukran sana, magazeti zote shukran sana. Makopetu wote shukran sana, bila nini hatungekuwa hapa. Safi sana, safi sana, safi sana. Hapo sawa, asante. Safi sana, safi sana, safi sana. Hapo sawa, asante. Safi sana, safi sana, safi sana. Hapo sawa, asante. Safi sana, safi sana, safi sana. Hapo sawa, asante. Safi sana.
Pawa Radio. Tune in and power up.
Safi sana, it's playing right here on Pawa Radio. This is the Power Morning Drive Show. My name is Wanyoike, officially welcoming you to the hottest show all around Nairobi. And yes, you're in for a treat. Nimewamiss sana. We've been out here rejecting the finance bill, but we are officially back. So thank you so much for cruising with us. Since we went for a break, but now we are back. We are back up in this building. You know, the hashtag to use is Power Morning Drive, and you can get in touch with us on our social media platforms. We are on Instagram, on Twitter. We are on Facebook and TikTok at Power Radio. If you have any questions that you want to send in, or music requests as well, we keep it local, 100% local. Do so on our social media platforms, and you can also catch this live broadcast on our YouTube channel. We are at Power Radio. Please go there, subscribe, also share, comment, do all the things, and we will be it will be amazing. It will be amazing. So we are cruising from 8 a.m. all the way till 10 a.m. on the Power Morning Drive Show. Let's get into some music. When I come back, I get into some traffic updates you need to know. I know some people are still on their way heading to work from home. So yeah, I come back with the traffic updates and also the day's news on our local and international news headlines. But for now, let's get into some music. Keep it right here on Power Radio.
Power Radio. Tune in and power up.
Bottom up imegeuka bottomless. down. Hakla narudi moshadha kwa expensive town. Ningehama hii nchi ba mimi mzalendo. Kenya nchi yangu bado na upendo. Nafinya tu computer dola zinatoka. Niwe kaptengele naivasha au keroka. Na hii degree yote mnaniambia nijenge nyumba. Nikipata job na ni tax na kosata za kula. Narudi yocha na nduthi fuel ni $80. Sifiki bei ya groceries kwa mama mboga. Njoro wa Uber na nisho twende offline trip.
Mazeni na mgonjwa usiongezea eko drip.
Shuka roiro kimbo na hizi promises mebaki kuwa tu kama wimbo. Wananiite bazoo, wanakuita bazoo na huna kakitu na sina kakitu. MCSK tu maelfu, MCSK tu maelfu na za kutoa tu, na za kutoa tu city. Wananiite bazoo, wanakuita bazoo na huna kakitu na sina kakitu. MCSK tu maelfu, MCSK tu maelfu na za kutoa tu, na za kutoa tu. Hakuna job season amekuwa socialite, ama hiyo pia ni moja job za online. Na vile naogopa napenda soft life. Sinchuzi tu beshteke kwa Airbnb alidai. Hashtag ina trend and femicide. Women rap na placards kukashift genocide. Na sipenda kwao vile life imekuwa hard. Options are life soft as guy so bad. Gava iko wapi? Haiteti history. LGBTQ ndo wanadai kupromoti. Wana fight pombe, wanasau mogoka. Na nkigotea kama naona meno zimetoka. Alinsho sikutaka ni state ya kuchoka. Na economy ya nation wanacho inaomoka. Ingia supermarket na thao hijazi jwala ya mbao. So shopping za supani luxury nshasa. Wananiite bazoo, wanakuita bazoo na huna kakitu na sina kakitu. MCSK tu maelfu, MCSK tu maelfu na za kutoa tu, na za kutoa tu. Beggars rode on horses, now they ride wheelbarrows. Matamu walitupa wakitaji kura. Walipata tunda nje walitutupa. Wheelbarrow dreams, kitu zimenifunza. Utabaki ukidream tu, reality itakuja. Gotta wake up and make your dream a reality. Kusota ni a deadly virus epidemic in the city. Wananiite bazoo, wanakuita bazoo. Wakimit kwa boardrooms, interest zao wana protect. Wakisema tuandamane still ni hao wana benefit. Nashindo sanity kwa politics ilienda wapi? Kuna ethics, morals na mnada integrity. Integrity tatoka wapi kwa embarambamba na diapers kwa bunge? Acheni udwani. Wananiite bazoo, wanakuita bazoo na huna kakitu na sina kakitu. MCSK tu maelfu, MCSK tu maelfu na za kutoa tu, na za kutoa tu city. Wananiite bazoo, wanakuita bazoo na huna kakitu na sina kakitu. MCSK tu maelfu, MCSK tu maelfu na za kutoa tu, na za kutoa tu. MCSK tu maelfu, MCSK tu maelfu na za kutoa tu, na za kutoa tu. MCSK tu maelfu, MCSK tu maelfu na za kutoa tu, na za kutoa tu.
Pawa Radio. Tune in and power up. Tune in and power up.
Kosa si kosa, makosa ni kurudia. Pole sana kama umevumilia. Tulikosana, nikaomba ungenirudia. Ukanikana hadharani mbele ya dunia.
Beti lichomeka, zima moto hawakusaidia. Ndege ya vieta, kianguka hawakunyambia. Saizi liona, ona, na sikufuatilia. Jirani alikuteka, mali yangu wakanikulia. Ni sawa,
umeniacha nimeachika, ni sawa. Ningenyamaza yote tisa, but for you, is that who you have picked over me? Umeniacha nimeachika, ni sawa.
uko sure ndo mwenye unataka? Uko sure?
Ni sawa.
Uko sure unaweza sema with your chest? Uko sure?
But for you, is that who you have picked over me? Umeniacha nimeachika, ni sawa. Ni sawa. Ni sawa.
Number on your wedding day, still stima zipote, upate fat fingers, ringi sitoshe. Your boyfriend akubaye kadogi ukidhani nika cute kakuume. Mother-in-law na father-in-law wakuchukie wakikuona. Unadhani yeni catch kumbe yeni spam donor. Yoni nini unabonya? My lord, I wonder, but as long as you're happy when wependa kenye unapenda imeenda.
Ni sawa, umeniacha nimeachika ni sawa. Ningenyamaza yote tisa, but for it, is that who you have picked over me? Umeniacha nimeachika ni sawa.
Uko sure yo ndo mwenye unataka? Uko sure?
Ni sawa.
Uko sure unaweza sema with your chest? Uko sure?
But for it, is that who you have picked over me? Umeniacha nimeachika ni sawa.
Pawa Radio.
In my mind, babe,
Power up.
is where you spend most of your time, baby. So many signs say yet to need perfect design, baby, yeah. Wangu ni wewe, kienda milele ntangoja. Najua kwa wengine ntakukosa, kubali Mwenyezi tuzeke pamoja, takupenda milele. Like I never loved in my life, so love me like you never loved in your life. Whenever we're together, oh life so nice. Kama sijakupenda then I never loved you like I never loved in my life. So love me like you never loved in your life. Whenever we're together, oh life so nice. Kama sijakupenda then I never loved in my life. I thought I was fine, baby, until love came and opened my eyes, baby, yeah. Perfect design, yeah. You came to me right on time, baby, yeah. And you know you did, and you know you did. Wangu ni wewe, ukienda milele ntangoja. Najua kwa wengine ntakukosa, kubali Mwenyezi tuzeke pamoja, takupenda milele. So love me like you never loved in your life. Whenever we're together, oh life so nice. Kama sijakupenda then I never loved you like I never loved in my life. So love me like you never loved in your life. Whenever we're together, oh life so nice. Kama sijakupenda then I never loved you like I never loved in my life. So love me like you never loved in your life. Whenever we're together, oh life so nice. Kama sijakupenda then I never loved in my life.
Power Radio. Tune in and power up.
Za moto kufanya ni G, huu ni kantai hajali G, huu ni mtu mkali G, tuliza moto kufani G. Yo, 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 that's why they call me. They call me Chris through the cantata.
Power Radio. Tune in and power up.
Mr. Kantai right there with his very, very, it's an anthem. It's an anthem. I had just found out that he passed on. I don't know. I don't know whether this is good, like true information, but I just found out that he passed on. If he did, rest in peace, Mr. Kantai. It's playing right here on Power Radio. This is the Power Morning Drive Show. I'm your host, Anne Wanyoike, and we are cruising from now all the way till 10 a.m. Remember, you can get in touch with us on our social media platforms. We are across TikTok. We are on Facebook, Instagram, and X at Power Radio. You can also catch this live broadcast on our YouTube channel. If you've not yet subscribed, kindly do so. We are at Power Radio, and also on our website, www.power254.org/Power Radio. Now, as promised earlier, let me take you through some traffic updates so that you may be knowing exactly where to go, which routes to avoid. Mombasa Road, it's moving. Today it's moving. So things are looking good. Wanyoike Way, there's a build up, a little snarl up as you head towards town from the Chiromo University of Nairobi campus all the way till, the intersection that leads into town. We also have Thika Road all the way from Allsops to Mathare Hospital. It's bumper to bumper, but at least things are moving, not looking pretty bad, all the way to Pangani Close. We also have Kiambu Road from Gertrude's up on Muthaiga all the way to Mpangani Roundabout. It's absolute madness. So if you can avoid that route, please do. Limuru Road, things are looking good. There's just a little bit of a snarl up around Aga Khan Hospital. But things are moving after that. Ngong Road from Prestige Plaza, there's a little bit of a snarl up, but also as you get towards the roundabout around Kenyatta Hospital, we see that there's a clear up. So if you see any accidents or incidents that you would love to let us know, kindly do so on the aforementioned social media handles, and we will be quick to let the people know. That's your traffic update. Without no further ado, let's get into the news roundup. The national news for today. Let's start with the Daily Nation. Now, the Daily Nation, on page 2 of the Daily Nation, of course, everybody is talking about the big Sabasaba concert that went down yesterday at Uhuru Park. Youth from around the country were able to meet at Uhuru Park in not just, it was not just a regular commemoration of the Sabasaba protest. Now this, for those that do not know, in 1990, that's 34 years ago, Kenya was going through a democratic transition, and people took to the streets to revolt against a one-party system, and that saw the introduction of a multi-party system across the country in 1990. So it happened on 7th of July, and so that's why it's called Sabasaba. So 34 years later, it comes at a very interesting moment in Kenya. We could say that this is sort of transitory, or also transitional, rather. And so the Daily Nation captures that peace prevailed as thousands of Kenyans turned up to celebrate protesters who lost their lives during the recent revolt against the controversial finance bill across the country. Remembering the compatriots on a date that coincides with the 1990 Sabasaba uprising, the youth vowed to maintain their push for an accountable and corrupt-free leadership. In Nairobi, the government deployed a heavy contingent of police officers in and around the CBD ahead of a planned memorial concert held at Uhuru Park. And if you grab your paper, you can see there's also something that was happening at the Uhuru Gardens of Mombasa as well. It was not just happening at Uhuru Park in Nairobi. It happened also in Mombasa with a lot of, there was heavy presence of people with roses and affected families really with candles. That's the picture that is being painted here on the page 2 and page 3 of the Daily Nation. Now, while Gen Z and millennials spearheaded the event, it goes further on to say that it received massive support of people outside the two generations, and among the artists that were there to to carry the concert, we had Calligraph Jones, Octopizzo, of course, Giuliani, Bien, Fena, Nameless, Eric Wainaina, Charisma, Sarabi Band, Graffiti Band, and Field Marshals Band, among others who were there to perform at the event yesterday. So, so it's something. I know that Sabasaba 2024 will be going down in Kenyan history, for yet again another revolutionary act as well, and something that we shall be talking about for a long time, even in our history, on when young people came to get their voices heard, and they were not afraid to ensure that their voices are heard to the government and to the local, to the leadership, the current leadership, spearheaded and led by President William Ruto, in terms of rejecting the finance bill. So I mean, something interesting to say is that, as we've been seeing, the narrative has been that Gen Zs are really not the first young people to step up to the plate and demand for justice, demand for governance, demand for social accountability. But I think we cannot also discount that's what I've been saying from day one. We cannot discount or malign the efforts of the Gen Z generation, as it were, right now, because they find themselves at a very critical position, and they exist within this critical, I would say, sort of, like, this is the life that they have come into. You don't need a lot of historical background or context to be able to live the life that you're living. And if the life that you're living feels as though it's not up to standard, or the life that you're living feels as if there's a lot of social injustice, which in Kenya you would have to be not wired well to see that is what has been happening, then I think we cannot malign the experiences of the young people and them going out and demanding for the change and the justice that they want to see, because that is their lived experiences. But this is something that we will be definitely talking about for a long time. And I also had Kalonzo Musyoka, the Wiper leader, the Wiper Party leader, who was saying that Sabasaba should be made a national holiday. He was speaking on radio today. When I was coming, I was listening on in the news, and it got me thinking. We can make every day a holiday, but we can make every day a holiday or something to be commemorated within the confines of whatever our lived experiences are. But if these days just become a regular day, we go out there, we have fun, and we forget that the importance, or rather the significance for having a day like the Sabasaba Day, then I don't think that that continuously giving leeway for national holidays and days to commemorate these things are a replacement of the work that needs to be done. Yeah, don't get me wrong. I love a good holiday. I love me a good holiday. I love to rest, too much to a fault. But the essence of the days should not be watered down by the new movements that we are seeing across the world, not just in Kenya, but across the world. And speaking of days to commemorate, yesterday was also World Swahili Day. I don't know whether you knew that. Yes, it was World Swahili Day. It was just a day, in 2022, UNESCO passed the World Swahili Day as a day to document first Swahili as the internationally recognized African language, yeah, that when you go to internationally and you go speaking Swahili, like that's, it's a language that is quite understood and it's recognized and acknowledged within the international cultural heritage and world international spaces where they call it falls under the intangible heritage, because language is intangible. You cannot quite touch it, but it's a real thing. Yeah, so yes, 7th of July is also is a day to celebrate World Swahili Day. And why this is important is, first of all, when we come to the conversation around Pan-Africanism or unifying Africa as a continent, I think language it will have to be at the center stage of ensuring that we are united on that front. Now, to give you a little bit of some statistics, 230 million Africans on the continent alone speak Swahili, and a big chunk of that of that population comes from, you guessed it right, Tanzania, our neighboring Tanzania. Yes, so 230 million people is, I mean, it's quite impressive, but also we are talking about a continent that has 1.4 billion people. So to be able to bridge that gap, I mean, if South African schools are already teaching their children Mandarin, can you imagine? Like we have special, it's like we have special provisions for other languages that come from outside, because in Africa, because of continued narratives that do not serve us, make us feel a little, I would say, removed from whatever comes from us, and we are taught to be ashamed of our own languages, which is something that I'm quite passionate about. Like, no, you're not going to do that colonialism to my mind again. It's not going to happen. And so if we can teach Spanish and if we can teach French and we can teach German in our school systems, I do not see why we should not teach Swahili in our school systems, and not just languages in across the East African region, but also, I mean, let's take Swahili wherever. Like if we have francophone Africa, if we have Lusophile Africa, if we have Italian speaking, nations of Africa, I think we are at a good chance to make sure that we bridge the gap between the 200 million all the way till the 1.4 billion Africans who do not speak Swahili. And again, we are at a better chance because we are, like, that's the most spoken language. So it's not something that cannot be done. It's absolutely can be doable. And I am, as I began to say, it's not just something to, we are not just teaching people the language of Swahili just for the sake of it. It has to be there has to be a bigger vision that it's serving, you know. As I said, it's the Pan-Africanism, it's unifying the African continent, language and culture. I know they don't really translate as powerful tools, but they truly are, because there is a reason as to why when you go to every room anywhere on this planet and speak English, there is a certain acknowledgement and recognition that carries. And why do you think that's so? Because language is an expression of power. It's an expression. It's a expression. My God, wow, yeah. But anyway, I'm not ashamed. They say if you cannot express well in one language, specifically a foreign language, it means that you can read. I mean, it means that you are rich because you are rich in other linguistic capabilities, as if to drive the point home. Yeah, so it's an expression of not only language and identity, but also an expression of power. And so I'm all for that. Yes, I'm all for that. I cannot wait to see an Africa for 50 years down the line where all the 55 nations speak Swahili, and like we go to our conferences and we force the like the Westerners to actually learn, because if we learned theirs, even them they can learn ours. Kwani iko nini? Tunaanguka nayo nasikia tunaanguka nayo huku. Yeah. But yes, moving on. Let's see. The page 3 of the Daily Nation continues the story about the Saba Saba, but this time around, we have a story around as the clock ticked past 4 p.m. yesterday, a somber mood engulfed on Saints Cathedral Church, Nairobi, as names of the more than 40 fallen victims of anti-government protests were read out. Each name was a stark reminder of the aftermath of the deadly anti-finance bill protests that left several youth, especially the Gen Z, dead and scores injured. One such name was Carlton Muthoni, a 24-year-old who hailed from Ongata Rongai in Kajiado County, who was a victim of police brutality during the demonstrations. He met his untimely death on June 28th, with the cause of death being a head injury due to a blunt force trauma. So yeah, yesterday, so we could see that across the National Council of Churches of Kenya General Secretary Rev Canon Chris Kenyanjui encapsulated the moment, saying the pain from the family is a reminder of what more than 40 other families, where young and brave sons and daughters have been killed by police bullets, were experiencing. He continues to say that these young men who have died are not just a list of names or statistics. They are real people who have families. We must stand for justice and see that someone will be held responsible for killing them, he said. So, yeah, they say it's 41 people. I mean, I always know that it is more than 41 people, but I cannot say that allegedly. But yes, I concur. I mean, we are really we sit at a very interesting transition in Kenya right now. I mean, the one thing for sure that I am quite excited about is that all social institutions that they've just come together. We've seen the church coming together. We have seen the Muslim fraternity coming together. We have seen schools also coming together. Literally, Kenyans have organized from literally every corner. And to top it all off, the organization online, like that whole social media organizing, this is something that for sure I can bet my money on, that people will be coming to discuss. But they will be coming to look at Kenya in terms of like research and just studies of how did we pull this thing off, And something interesting that I also have picked up is, I know we like saying that you cannot see change when there is no leader per se, but this time around we saw that there was a breakthrough and this movement was decentralized, because there was no like proper leader. You know, it was a decentralized kind of movement where the power was within the hands of the people. There was no one person to be pointed out that this one is the one that is leading people to this way and this. No. It was decentralized power. It was decentralized organizing, and it has been pulled off the way it has been pulled off, you know. And what excites me more about this is, you know, as a country who is really, really invested in bureaucracy and the red tape, for once, I am able to, like, my suspicions have always been that we do not need this overtly structured, structural processes to get things done. That's my own opinion. And so being able to sit now on the other side of, you see, this thing that has happened that was not really as structured as things that have been structured before, and seeing the impact that it has had within what I think not even a month into it. I think it has happened within 2 or 3 weeks, right? And we can already see that we've been heard as the Kenyan public. We could say that we have at least, if not managed to pull it off, we are at the beginning stages of pulling even bigger movements and bigger revolutions because again, there is power in numbers. And for me, I think it's a bad day for bureaucracy and a good day for Kenyans, because I don't like those things. I don't understand why to get sijui, you have to line up. You know, Kenyans like lining up for everything. You're made to line up for everything. You're made up to go from one step to the other, to the other, to the other, a process that could really take less than 5 minutes. But because of the red tape, you know, we things have to go sijui back and forth, sijui approvals, na. So yeah, it's a good day. It's a good day for Kenyans. At least if bureaucracy and the red tape can be squandered like that, I'm a happy girl. All right, let's get into some music, because clearly I can talk on and on and on. And then when we come back, I still continue with the day's news headlines. Today, because we are just looking at the state of the nation, and that will be by the help of what is in the papers as I gear up into the conversations of the day. So stick around. This is Power Radio on the Power Morning Drive Show. The time right now is exactly 9 a.m. I'll catch you after this short musical break. Don't move a muscle.
Power Radio. Tune in and power up.
Time for Kenya to rise up.
Rise up, simama.
Umoja ni nguvu.
Wake up, simama.
Together we you are champion. Rise up, simama.
Standing.
Wake up, simama. Champion vibes. Rise up, simama. Wake up, simama.
Kutoka geto sio ngumu, lazima uwe na form. Piga mishe utameki odo. Kutoka geto sio ngumu, lazima uwe na form. Piga mishe utameki odo. Wakisema hautameki sasala, hii dunia ni duara, chapa kazi. Wakisema hautameki sasala, hii dunia ni duara, chapa kazi. Chenga kama Olunga, chomoka kama Kipyego na Kipchoge. Cheki Lupita Nyong'o, Wanyama naye ni champion. Carry on. Oh yes, I'm a champion. One in a million. Kenyans a champion. One in a million. Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes. One in a million. Oh yes, we are champions. One in a million.
Some say that you could have never make it out of the poverty. Then I know your priority. When I give up like what them say, God bless me with sanity. We turning dreams to reality. When you put your eyes on the prize, it won't be very long before them I will realize. Enough of them a bad man, them I go criticize. Them can't stop us, get our youth steady on the rise. When you put your eyes on the prize, it won't be very long before them I me realize. Enough of them a bad man, them a go criticize. They can't stop a get a youth steady on the rise. Yeah.
I'm a champion.
Oh yes, I'm a champion.
I'm a champion.
1 in a million.
I'm a champion.
Kenyans a
I'm
champion.
a champion.
1 in a
I'm
million.
a champion.
Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes. 1 in a
I'm
million.
a champion.
Oh yes, we are champions.
Champion.
1 in a million.
Stand and let the sun shine bright.
Yeah.
Celebrate tonight. Fly up to the highest high and sing. I'm a Kenyan champion. Dance. Let it rain all night.
I'm a champion.
Celebrate tonight.
I'm a
Fly
champion.
up to the highest high and sing. I'm a Kenyan champion.
I'm a champion.
I'm a Kenyan champion.
Would you ever think to be a champion? Would you ever think to win big in your life? Would you ever think to be 1 in a million? Million, million. Would you ever think to be a champion?
Sunshine
Would
bright.
you ever think you win big in your life? Would you ever think to be 1 in a million? Million, million.
I come from the land of champions.
Rise up, see mama.
I'm a Kenyan champion.
Rise up, see mama.
Many faces, many races. I have come through many places, but I never seen a sky so blue. My mind and so free and so whole, yeah. But I never seen a sky so blue.
Yo, giddy maji maji, yeah. And the 6, SA, Groove Machine, come on, D-Rex, one. Tunda na mi Inega inego wato ok nege Imaka kimako wato ok make Dene, yote tukwa lo pesa wa ebengi Intame, aneko kibithoko uko taya Maji tapo shine Pile katache kakilo nu watch mara Dierka himo 44 Tida winjo kaluora olo mi amor Ping tinde uor, gochonge pinyi lem Yesu, Lion of Judah Nene, maricho mase timoneji Tobene wena, aher ngata wenga Katita loke Judas ma Iscariot
Many faces, many races.
Yeah.
I have come through many places,
Yeah.
but I never seen a sky so blue.
Giddy maji
My mind and so
Yeah.
free and so whole, yeah.
Yeah.
But I never seen a sky so blue.
Giddy maji Ayo, teko ting tek te ato tida kan With your pinky chomo po wako misatan Marakora to wena mi akan Cheno manya sa en mana nikik alal Anginga tawenga nena kakachal Cheno manya sa en mana nikik alal Para donje wiya kaneno gigingiya Nikatatim na nade meto donje wiya
Many faces, many faces. I have come through many places, but I never seen a sky so blue. My mind and so free and so whole, yeah. But I never seen a sky so blue. Many faces, many races.
Yeah.
I have come through many places,
Yeah.
but I never seen a sky so blue.
Giddy maji
My mind and so
Yeah.
free and so whole, yeah.
Yeah.
But I never seen a sky so blue.
Giddy maji Badala ya wizi nashika MIC kama TPSC MC kutoka Kenya jo
Ayo, nani atasema tia tujafika Na siku hizi tunasikika Afrika
Nawakilisha, natisha, nabisha Left, right, yani kulia, kushoto Staki msoto
Yani ndiyo maana siku hizi tuna rock out Kutoka Cairo yani mpaka Cape Town
Many faces, many races.
Yeah.
I have come through many places,
Yeah.
but I never seen a sky so blue.
Giddy maji
My mind and so
Yeah.
free and so whole, yeah.
Yeah.
But I never seen a sky so blue.
Giddy maji
Many faces, many faces.
Yeah.
I've come through many places,
Yeah.
but I never seen a sky so
Giddy, giddy, machi, machi, giddy, giddy, machi,
my
machi.
mind and so
Yeah.
free and so whole, yeah.
Yeah.
But I never seen a sky so
Giddy, giddy, machi, machi, giddy, giddy, machi.
many faces, many races.
Yeah.
I've come through many places,
Yeah.
but I never seen a sky so
Giddy, giddy, machi, machi, giddy, giddy, machi,
my mind
machi.
and so
Yeah.
free and so whole, yeah.
Yeah.
But I never seen a sky so blue.
Yeah, check it out. It's Big Beats, K Jones. If everybody hating, the game is a mess. But I do it for the fame and the checks. You really wanna know about the name with the best? Yeah, I'm flossing. Check out the chains on my neck and the way I'm rocking the beat. It's like a mystery. Is everybody really trying to diss me? So while you doing that, I'll be making history. And I'll be rocking the mic till I'm 50. Strictly, yeah, I do it for the fans. And the plan is to make everybody understand that the man is all about making a lot of brands. Still wanna know why my music is on demand, cause I stay on the grind every day. Never give a damn what the people gonna say. This ain't free, this time you gotta pay. 1960, that's where I lay. Everybody from the east to the west like yo. You know you be rocking with the best like yo. Your boy always pressed to impress like yo. And now we be on to the next like yo. Cause we got it like yo. Eastlands, yo, we had it like yo. Westlands, yo, we had it like yo. Uptown, yo, we had it like yo. Cause we got it like yo, we had it like yo. Hey y'all, 1960 holla. It has never been done. A mixing hip hop with Lingala. The combination is tight and real. Not the Western rappers wanna bite the skill. Every page that I open is like a new chapter. Rap's a Bible, then I'm a true pastor. They come too slow, then I come too faster. Sit up and over the fucking damn flute bastard. I make it happen. Everybody should be clapping. And the cheddar we be stacking. On the shorties you be tapping. Got everything you be lacking. Yeah, I get it popping. And when I get to rapping, you know I'm never stopping. From Kayole, I'm taking it to Congo. To Anza Juicy to Lianza Kitambo. We go hard and we never stay soft. One time a salute. Everybody from the east to the west like yo. You know you be rocking with the best like yo. Your boy always pressed to impress like yo. And now we be on to the next like yo. Cause we got it like yo. Eastlands, yo, we had it like yo. Westlands, yo, we had it like yo. Uptown, yo, we had it like yo. Cause we got it like yo, we had it like yo.
Bakodinga na pakolaka zote koma sembe sembe okopetenga na zoka lobi na zwa maladi ya cancer lobi tango na kopola yo kiminga ye.
Power Radio. Tune in and power up.
Calligraph Jones, and he's playing right here on Power Radio. This is the Power Morning Drive Show, and I'm your host, Anne Wanyoike. And this is very beautiful, beautiful, beautiful Monday morning. The 8th of July, 2024 is how we be happening. Remember, you can get in touch with us on our social media handles. We are at Power Radio across TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and X. You can also catch us on our website. That is www.power254.org/Power Radio. And also, you can catch this on our YouTube channel. That is at Power Radio. Kindly subscribe, share, like, comment, and do all the things. Na itakuwa poa sana. All right. So again, we are doing things a little bit different today. Remember, the hashtag that you can use also is Power Morning Drive. Yes. We are doing something different today. We are looking at the state of the nation, but it's gonna be informed from the day's news. So my day's news highlight is not just the usual 30 minutes that we do, but it's going to be covered throughout the show because there's a lot that has been happening and we need ample time to be discussing just where is the 254 at. All right, so I'm still on the Daily Nation. On page 6 of the Daily Nation, we have a story there about hiring of doctors and junior secondary school teachers to go on. Now, because the finance bill was dropped, of course, we saw that there's going to be a lot of financial cuts from different ministries. That will also mean that some ministries will be funded through those various cuts. And so there's a story here that the government has moved to safeguard the absorption of junior secondary school teachers and medical interns on permanent terms, despite their hiring having faced uncertainty following the collapse of the Finance Bill 2024. Their hiring will be financed through budget cuts from other government agencies, vote heads in supplementary budget 1 for the current financial year 2024-2025. Now, the mini budget will, however, see elected MPs from the 290 constituencies forego the 15 billion Kenyan shillings meant for the enhancement of the national government constituency government development fund, that's the CDF kitty, to finance electricity connectivity in their areas. This follows a meeting between the National Treasury Mandarins, led by Cabinet Secretary Njuguna Ndungu, and the National Assembly Budget and Appropriations Committee. Details before the parliament show that the 18.9 billion Kenyan shillings allocated to the Teachers Service Commission for JSS teachers hiring will not be altered despite the revenue hitch. The same is with the 3.7 billion shillings allocated to the State Department of Medical Services for the absorption of medical interns and the 1.8 billion allocated to State Department for Basic Education for school feeding programs for public schools. Yeah, so you can grab your copy of the Daily Nation and go to page 6 to get more in depth on that story as well. On the page 7 of the Daily Nation, we have Kenya mission in Haiti firms up as US delivers equipment. Now, as you know, the Kenyan police officers on an international mission to Haiti have begun receiving equipment as plans to help restore peace in the Caribbean country move into top gear, the nation has learned. The officers received a consignment of armored personnel garrisons. Sorry, I beg your pardon, Carisas, the APCs as they are known, on Saturday, courtesy of the United States government. More APCs arrived on Sunday, and we shall be receiving additional equipment, a source privy to the matter spoke to the Daily Nation. Plans are still underway to have more officers deployed to the country. Kenyan officers alongside their Haitian colleagues have been patrolling Haiti's capital, Port-au-Prince. On Friday last week, image of Kenyan police officers standing outside the US embassy in Haiti attracted condemnation, with a section of social media users saying that the Kenyan officers were being tasked with manning the premises. However, this was dismissed by the source as they were able to do so. So, yeah, Kenyan mission, during the finance bill protest, I know that this is something that really infuriated a lot of Kenyans because on one hand, the Kenyan police that was deployed to, maintain whatever law and order, air quotes, are the same ones that were seen killing innocent Kenyans. Yet we have the same picture going to another different country and being very guarded and protective about them. So yeah, the anger on Kenyans, the past 2 or 3 weeks has not been quite we've not been relenting, and especially because of the defense forces and the armed police unit. A lot of damage has been done. I mean, we're talking about 41 dead bodies right now. People have died. People died, yeah, and we can trace a lot of this towards I guess the mishandling of the security dispatchment that was done, and we demand justice. We demand justice for the fallen soldiers and fallen heroes, because these are heroes to be remembered for a very long time. And on page 8 of the Daily Nation, there's a story about ministry finally releases cash to pay community health workers. Government workers employed as community health promoters can now breathe a sigh of relief after the Ministry of Health started releasing some of the money they are owed for the month of May. The ministry said that 107,831 CHPs in 45 counties are targeted in this round of payments. CHPs in Mombasa and Mandera counties are not included. Speaking in the Tharaka County, Public Health and Professional Standards Principal Secretary Mary Muthoni said that the government has provided 100,000 smartphones, medicines, and other supplies to all counties. Yeah, so you can grab your Daily Nation on page 8 to get a bit of that story. Let's get some music. When we come back, we continue with the state of the nation and find out what is happening within the counties, in our counties news as well. As a story there about debts and salaries being impeded, having to impede the growth in counties. So we shall be talking a little bit about that, as I also get to grab the Standard newspaper and see what has been making the headlines on that end as well. This is Power Radio.
Power Radio. Tune in and power up.
Jealousy, always comparing myself to you. Sometimes I feel like I overdo. Sometimes I feel like I'm over you. Thinking and I feel like I have no clue. Singing and you aga moods. Sometimes I act a fool. Singing and nina choma sana. Sometimes tunako sana. Sometimes I act too cool. Singing and you act a fool. Sometimes you drive me crazy. I swear I drive you crazy. Consistent, consistency, consistent, consistently, consistent, consistency, consistent, consistent, day by day, 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 day by day. Consistent, consistently. Anxiety, naanza tabia za self sabotage. Naanza tabia za overjudge. Naanza kujifungia, naanza kujikazia, mwenzio nafunga hisia. Sometimes I feel so blue, sometimes I have no clue. Saa ingine unachoma sana, sometimes tunakosana. Saa ingine ninapotea, sometimes unanikosea. Sometimes you drive me crazy, I swear I drive you crazy. Consistent,
Your kind of music, all day, all night, right here on your only station, Pawa Radio.
I wish you'd see how pretty I look in the shoes that you bought for me. Kuna matime na tamani, ungeona how happy you make me. Haijalishi kuwa haunioni, ninachodhamini ni mapenzi yetu. Mimi na wewe kitu kimoja, sioni haya tukiwa pamoja. Mimi na wewe kitu kimoja, sioni haya tukiwa pamoja. Mimi na wewe. Mimi na wewe. I wish you'd see the stars in the sky, just to know how amazing they look. I wish you'd see me write this song for you. Alafu cheki wase wakibambika. Haijalishi kuwa haunioni, ninachodhamini ni mapenzi yetu. Mimi na wewe kitu kimoja, sioni haya tukiwa pamoja. Mimi na wewe kitu kimoja, sioni haya tukiwa pamoja. Mimi na wewe. Mimi na wewe. You use your heart to see what most with sight don't see. Waona kila jinsi ya kunionyesha, wafanya nihisi mapenzi ya kweli yapatikana. Mimi na wewe, mimi na wewe, mimi na wewe, mimi na wewe, mimi na wewe. Mimi na wewe.
Alright. And I was sitting in a corner, just minding my business. And that is when I saw her, looking like a goddess. Told her, can I get your name and your number and where you come from? Yeah. But before you do all that, let me tell you something about me. I love some reggae music and she said me too. I like to burn some sass and she said me too. Born and raised in Nairobi and she said me too. Okay, sipendi watu sticky and she said me too. Sipendi watu tricky and she said me too. Can I get some more drinks and she said me too. Okay, well, it seems like you and I have a lot of things in common, and maybe we can go somewhere after this. Don't worry yourself, my girl, you'll be safe with me, no. But before I go too far, let me start once again from the top. I love some reggae music and she said me too. I like to burn some sass and she said me too. Born and raised in Nairobi and she said me too. Okay, sipendi watu sticky and she said me too. Sipendi watu tricky and she said me too. Can I get some more drinks and she said me too. Okay, aha, ni kama tunaelewana, iko sawa, iko sawa. 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 I love some reggae music and she said me too. I like to burn some sass and she said me too. Born and raised in Nairobi and she said me too. Okay, sipendi watu sticky and she said me too. Sipendi watu tricky and she said me too. Can I get some more drinks and she said me too. Okay, I love some reggae music and she said me too. I like to burn some sass and she said me too. Born and raised in Nairobi and she said me too. Okay, sipendi watu sticky and she said me too. Sipendi watu tricky and she said me too. Can I get some more drinks and she said me too. Okay,
Power Radio. Tune in and power up.
Me Too by Shamir, and it's playing right here on Power Radio. This is the Power Morning Drive Show. I'm your host, Anne Wanyoike. We're now getting into the Standard newspaper. The first 2 or 3 pages is pretty much what the Daily Nation was talking about. Of course, all eyes on the Saba concert that went down yesterday. But moving on page 4 of the Standard newspaper, there's a story there about Ruto in dilemma over disbanding of cabinet amidst public pressure. Now, President William Ruto is currently on the spot with citizens waiting to see whether he will reorganize his government and reshuffle his cabinet as promised on Friday, as he announced his new austerity measures. The president, who addressed the nation from State House following 2 weeks of protracted demonstrations by Gen Zs who are demanding for change in government, promised to make changes in tandem with his cost-saving measures. It goes further on to say that Dr. Ruto raised a lot of hopes among citizens on his commitment towards the reorganization of his administration when he announced the decision to suspend filling of 50 positions of cabinet administrative secretaries. Those are the CASs, and the reduction of the number of advisors in government by 50%. 47 state corporations with overlapping and duplicative functions will be dissolved, resulting in the elimination of their operational and maintenance costs, with their functions being integrated into the respective line ministries with their staff transferred to ministries and government agencies, said President Ruto. In Friday's pronouncements, the head of state also scrapped budgetary allocation to the offices of the First Lady, the spouse of the Deputy President, and the spouse of the Prime Cabinet Secretary, besides removing budgetary provisions for confidential budgets in various executive offices, including his own. Some of them have been accused of getting involved in politics and Ruto is also, sorry, I beg your pardon. Ruto is under pressure to fire some of his cabinet secretaries for either engaging in corruption or exhibiting arrogance. Now, so this is something, I think Kalonzo Musyoka said something around cosmetic changes will not do. And again, reshuffling, you can reshuffle your cabinet all you want. You can give a new face to the systems that are. You can give a new face to the ministries, but the thing is, they say that it's different monkeys, but the circus is the same, and it's like I would have to agree with Mr. Kalonzo Musyoka here for once that for real it looks very cosmetic, if you ask me. So one, just the other day, we were seeing some 6 cabinet secretaries under pressure for not performing things. There were conversations around impeachment. We saw, CS Linturi of agriculture, CS Nakumicha of health coming under fire. We also had CS Machogu of education coming under fire for being incompetent. And Kenyans have had it. Kenyans have had have really had it with incompetencies, especially when it comes to the leadership of this nation, and especially when it comes to the allocations of cabinet secretaries per se. So I've been talking and listening to the rhetoric out here in, amongst the conversations that I listen in when Kenyans are having conversations amongst themselves. It's that there is a failure of the government to appoint leaders that are within the jurisdiction of these appointments that they have. So instead of the cabinet secretary being skill based, we sort of use other matrices to give them these positions. And for lack of a better word, I don't even think there's any matrix here. I think the matrix for a long time, because of Kenya's corruption problem and nepotism, like we all know how these things go. It's like we know our people, we identify who we would love to scratch their back, and we are like, now you have this position, go and be the one that is leading that ministry. And for a long time, we can clearly see that that's not going to work. It will not work, because you have to. I think the methods or the matrices that we are supposed to be using, or rather the approaches that we should use in the appointments that we make in this country, one, it has to be completely skill-based. How are you going to have somebody leading, for example, let's say the agricultural ministry, and they have absolutely no background in how agriculture works. They do not have a personal touch to the economics and the politics of agriculture. They do not understand that a big chunk of Kenya's money comes from the biggest backbone of the economy, which is agriculture in the country. And I think we need to stop. My friend calls this the African chief syndrome, where we like to think as countries as a small village where a chief is elected and appointed, and because it's a small, it's a small location, geographical location, then automatically you think that the country, with all its complexities, a bigger population, the dynamics more complicated, and others so complex, that it can run the same way. And of course not. This is not, you can't just slap anyone into a position of power and expect that things are going to turn out better or different. They say that madness is doing the same thing over and over and hoping for a different outcome. And I think in Kenyan politics, and just how we deal with who we elect into power, I think that there's a level of madness when it comes to these issues. And so I was saying that the approaches should be, one, in the vetting processes, because if we see we have gruesome grilling that happens, at least somebody should be at least conversant. You should be well acquainted with the ministry that you are garnering up for. I think it's called, I don't know whether it's the one that is called technocracy, but I'll look it up, and I'll come back and confirm that that's what it is. But yes, just so it should be skill based. Of course, we should have good faith in you as a leader. You're not just going to come and we do not know you. We don't have a track record of what you've done in your previous work. We do not have absolutely, it's like you're coming from the clouds, and then you're supposed to somehow lead a whole ministry and somehow put signatures to the release of funds of what needs to go to be funded in this and the other, so it's it's a little bit disorienting for me to see just what this country has come to. And so when we talk about social accountability and political accountability, like, I want to be able to be in the rooms. And I think we should also have the Kenyan Mwananchi inside this grilling and this appointment rooms, because the leaders, number one, let's not forget that you are led so that you can amply represent the Kenyan Mwananchi. And so there's nothing that is for us without us. That is something that we will always keep talking about. So if it's for us, let us be in those rooms, yeah? So you can grab your copy of the Standard, page 4, and read further on what that paper says. On page 5, the president, the message, Mr. President, the message in Gen Z: push in action, not empty talk. A story there about, of course, we all know that last week on Friday, the president had a Twitter space, that's an X space, conversation with Kenyans, and it was just, a bid to get dialogue going in between the president and the people. I did manage to listen into a little bit of it. It was not, of course, I did expect it to go the way that it did. And was it a smart move? Probably not. But is it necessary that it had to happen? Absolutely. But was it necessary that it happened the way it happened? Also not. So the story here on page 5 of the Kenyan, of the Standard, it's just highlighting on the fact that the interactions between the public and the powers that be for a long time has been sort of I am coming to you, I am speaking at you instead of speaking with you. I am telling you what needs to work for this country instead of we the people getting to decide that this is what we think and we feel that our country needs. Because of course a president with, for example, his cabinet of less than 500 people cannot possibly know what the rest of us in our millions, 50 million Kenyans would need in a very ample and satisfactory way. And so, again, social media being used for the good, I'm all for it, but it cannot be in the way that it was done last Friday. And so that's what the story on page 5 of the Standard newspaper is alluding towards. It's alluding towards the fact that we need to change course in how we even do dialogues between our leaders and the citizens, yeah? And these dialogues, it's not just going to be cosmetic. And by cosmetic, I mean, we don't need speeches that are written down by ChatGPT, or even somebody just writing down for you that speech, and you just come and give Kenyans what a written speech is, instead of feeling Kenyans and being aware of the issues that they are tabling, being aware of the issues that they want heard, right? So that's what I'm saying. So we really have to break away from cosmetic talk in this country. We have to get away from cosmetic, I would say, cosmetic shows, really, because we put on a show and tell people that this is what we are going to work on, but that's just it. It ends at a conversation. Nobody really takes the initiative to go the extra mile in ensuring that Kenyans are heard, in ensuring that we have a proper follow-through plan from the stage of dialogue all the way, like there has to be something that sustains our processes from dialogue all the way till implementation of what we want to see. And of course, one way that we will have one key factor that can sustain such a process is beating corruption, really just being intentional, right? Nothing can ever get done unless you are intentional, you know. And maybe we also have leaders that underestimate the magnitude of the offices that they hold. You know, maybe it hasn't quite gripped on them what this could be or what this is. And so in that light, I would love to see more conversations amongst leadership and the public, but like in a more the engagement needs to be more meaningful. Yeah, the engagement needs to be more meaningful than what we have seen so far. So yeah, so a little bit of that story on page 5 of the standard. Page 6 and 7, we have the same story. Gen Zs hold memorials for victim of shootings amid reform push. There's a story about that. So the same post-protest conversation again. We also have that story stretching all the way till page 7 and page 8 as well of the standard newspaper. We also have a story here about I remember earlier, I think in March, we had a conversation from NEMA that, so we had the NEMA, which is the Environmental Regulatory Authority in Kenya, gave a notice to cease the usage of plastic bags for the garbage collections, and they had given a notice for 90 days. So there's a story here on page 11 of the standard for Kenyans urging NEMA being urged to review the compliance period for biodegradable waste bags. Now, the 3-month period set by the National Environment Management Authority, that's NEMA, to replace plastic garbage bags to biodegradable alternatives ends today. This is today, the 8th of July. The private garbage collectors have, however, urged NEMA to review the compliance period under the Waste and Environment Management Association. The private collectors said reviewing the timelines will allow for adequate testing, certification, and an enhanced multi-sectoral engagement to ensure a smooth, just, and effective transition. The garbage collectors raised concerns over NEMA's move to phase out the plastic waste collection bags known as black bin bags without incorporating issues that emerged during consultation forums. WIMAC chairperson Samuel Onyancha accused NEMA of ignoring critical issues raised on waste segregation, take-back systems, material recovery facilities, and extended producer responsibility programs, saying they are still unresolved and not only threaten effectiveness but also fairness of the transition. He also goes on to say that we are concerned about the authority and why it wants to fix what is not broken. NEMA has not provided clear guidance on the availability, cost, and sourcing of certified biodegradable bags, raising concerns about potential monopolies and unfair competition, said Mr. Onyancha. I mean, two things come to mind here. One, that's not entirely true. We cannot have a statement like why does NEMA want to fix what is not broken? Yes, it is broken. The recommendation or the suggestion towards going green is because there is a broken system, and the broken system here is climate change and global warming, and anything that could eradicate plastic is going green. And for sustainability as well, talks of climate change and sustainability, it should be a welcomed it should be welcomed, right? So that's one thing. Yeah, while I reckon that yes, this is it's a little bit too sort of soon, especially the fact that we've just come out of protest, and I don't think Kenyans have had the time to even sit down with themselves and just process what has been going on. I do think that it's a good move. It should be a smart move to review the period that we need, at least an extension, maybe all the way till December, which the concerns they are being raised that the availability of these biodegradable waste bags, how available are they? Of course, with sustainable environmental materials, it means that they are usually more expensive, because yes, so if they are expensive, it means that Kenya wa kawaida will not be able to afford, the people that come from low income areas might not be able to afford, yet again, because we live in a very polarized economic inequality situation in Kenya. And so we need to, it's either the authority gives a way out on either incentivizing these bags, or completely subsidizing, or completely making them free and available. Like, there has to be more planning that goes on, because it's not a transition that you sleep and wake up and the next day you're all using. I mean, we did try it with the transition from the plastic carrier bags, but up to today, I still go to shops and I am served by their polythene bags, and so then what are we saying, right? So yeah, with better planning and more time, I think this is a welcome move for us to be like, everybody keeps saying that Kigali is the cleanest city in Africa. Like, it's not as dirty as, for example, let's say Nairobi. And one of the ways that they were able to hack that is by completely banning plastic usage in their country. And now they are where they are at. So yes, it is more sustainable. It is more sustainable, and we need to make, yeah, like, yes, I can see DJ CJ Kenya is saying that NEMA is not caring for environmental issues. Yes, ni tendering. Anasema good morning to you too. I mean, he's saying hi to us. Sorry. I beg your pardon. Yes, his sentiments here on YouTube is that NEMA is not caring for environmental issues, ni tendering, which, yes, 100%. I don't think that's far removed. Again, I keep saying, I was having a conversation with my friend last week, and I told them in the conversation that things in this country only work because we treat this country as a business. So we run this country as a business. So the only reason why you see, for example, a road is because there is a tender of somebody somewhere who needs to make money out of this tender. You remember Tenderpreneurs and the saga that was, and other short stories during the Uhuru regime. Yeah, so so yes, we only get things done here because Kenya is treated like a business. And so anything that does not translate into somebody pocketing some money for themselves, the greater good, forget about it. We are not, we do not exist in a benevolent country where, it's all happy-go-lucky and things are just supposed to work for the greater good of the Kenyan masses. And so towards DJ CJ's comments, yes, there's also an aspect of tendering. But if tendering is one way that Kenyans will be able to effectively and smoothly transition into a more green, more sustainable, more biodegradable, more clean energy, more effective waste management processes, then let's get it how we get it. But the point is, let's get it in one way or the other. All right? Okay, so that's that. So thank you, Mr. DJ CJ, for tuning in. Tumeona tune in kutoka wapi, for commenting on our YouTube channel. And you can do so as well if you're just tuning in. This is the Power Morning Drive Show on the Power Radio. And yes, let's get into some music and I'll continue just looking at the different things that are making headlines as we assess the state of the nation, from, as we've had, the environment to Swahili Day to the Ruto's cabinet reshuffle and everything in between that could guarantee a conversation around the social, political, economic, cultural state of the nation in Kenya. Keep it right here on Power Radio.
Power Radio. Tune in and power up.
For sure, for sure. For sure, for sure. For sure, for sure. For sure. Yeah. My love for you is true, my love for you is real, my love for you is for sure. Every time that I speak, every time that clock ticks, my love remains for sure. Every day that I wake, every breath that I take, my love will be for sure. Na chochote utakacho kupa goma anywhere mazeni for sure. For sure, for sure. For sure, for sure. For sure, for sure. My love is real. Pale nje kakona with your girls ukicheka, hata kudeka nilikuwa kwenye free nikituka ngeta, nikanibamba nikakuweka kwa sekta. Tangu siku ya kwanza nimetafuta dem rembo kama wewe but sikupata, lakini sasa mazee nimepata na sitakuacha nipate number. Girl, what's your name, where you come from? Are you living with a man or you been living on your own? That's a big mention, you mean aware. Kila siku every day make love for she's a my love. My love for you is true, my love for you is real, my love for you is for sure. Every time that I speak, every time the clock ticks, my love remains for sure. Every day that I wake, every breath that I take, my love will be for sure. Na chochote utakacho nitakupa goma anywhere mazeni for sure. For sure, for sure. For sure, for sure. For sure, for sure. My love is real. You and I mean, the satisfaction guarantee. Women in CMBPREC. Oh, and I'm the king. Oh yes, baby girl, you could be my queen. Na mambo bado hapa ni mwanzo. Kwa hivyo kitupa mbao shauri yako. How does it sound? Me and you across the globe. How does it sound? Me and you can bingo. How does it sound? It goes go gray and old. Together we stand divided we fall as raw. How does it sound? And you know I get down like my hit single. Shorty come, let's get down and make all them haters bow down. Tell them we don't care, to us they're nothing but clowns. Tell them we don't care, to us they're nothing but clowns. Usipena hofu mami, kwenye bawa zangu mimi nitakutunza we. Kwenye bawa zangu mimi nitakutunza we. My love for you is true, my love for you is real, my love for you is for sure. Every time that I speak, every time that clock ticks, my love remains for sure. Every day that I wake, every breath that I take, my love will be for sure. Na chochote
chochote utakacho nitakupa go mad anyway mazeni for sure. For sure, for sure. For sure, for sure. For sure, for sure. My love is real.
Yes, our love is real and we love you so much, but we got no time. I was having so much fun. I couldn't keep track of the time. Unfortunately, that's all the time that we had for you today on the Power Morning Drive Show. To everybody who was able to tune in, comment, shout out to our very own DJ CJ from Kitengela City. Thank you so much, Shukran, for tuning in. It's always a pleasure, guys, to do these mornings with you from 8 to 10 a.m. The Power Morning Drive Show comes to you Mondays, Wednesdays, and Friday only on Power Radio. You do want to stick around because at 11 a.m. Mudhoni is coming in with the She Talks show, and then Badai we have Sharia Dive with Mr. James Wanjeri, our very own certified advocate of the High Court of Kenya, and he'll be talking to us about the conflict of interest bill. So you do want to stick around for that. Ni shukran sana to everybody mwenye amejumuika ili kuweza kuwezesha this broadcast, to my ever amazing producer Flowzy. It's always a good time to work together with her. Yes, and let's do this again Wednesday. Time ni 8 a.m. all the way till 10 a.m. Of course, Mondays, I have to plug my fellowship. Yes, Fitness in the Word happens every Monday from 5 p.m. all the way till 8 p.m. Pale Nairobi Cinema. To anybody who is around town, please come and let's get blessed together. I've been your host, Anne Wanyoike, and I'm out for now. See you when I see you. Bye-bye.
Power Radio. Tune in and power up.
Tushaskia kwa dark please. Tushaskia tukiingia ni kublast huko ngabado na chuklo madam, so anguka nao itabaki meflow na vibe. Anguka nao koko single for now. Mdaglis mteja patikani hadi late night saa 6 ndo taniwai. Nikupin location na nikofana na hii sukate call niko chomba ya G. Mimi najua utakuwa irizo riris. Acha nikushow kwanza form ya Didon. Nishashika mpoa na twende chini kwa chini akiwa hadi na mini. Sasa tunasikiza Shin City, tuna feel free. Teka video na post pale NGC. Jina ni Kantel Kurapsi ni talent G. Anguka nao, anguka nao, check it. Anguka nao, twende down low now. Stand up to your feet, mikono juu alafu click. Tuliza pesa alafu one leg. Anguka nao, one leg. Anguka nao, anguka nao, anguka nao, anguka nao.
Anguka nayo kama uko na new catch. Anguka nayo kona pati na magwash. Anguka nayo round 2 kwa hii bash. Anguka nayo ati, anguka nayo ati, anguka nayo, anguka nayo, anguka nayo ati, ati anguka nayo, ati anguka nayo. Na katika msupa webanjuka, cheza chini ukikondezo madhuta. Anguka nayo baby girl ushaitika. Mdagi matisho za wadagi step. Ama darling, tambu serikali, juni serikali, tamka asali. Simnachwa ni nani, flow mshati, ki, don medunga up down ni, chi. Butekiwa poa daily mi, ti. Sikia, beba, anguka nao, anguka nayo, anguka nayo, anguka nayo, anguka nayo, anguka nayo, anguka nayo, anguka nayo. Ati anguka nayo mtupa me feel relaxed. Anguka nayo kama uko na new catch. Anguka nayo kama unapati na magwash. Anguka nayo round 2 kwa hii bash. Ati anguka nayo, anguka nayo, anguka nayo, anguka nayo. Ati anguka nayo kama uko na new catch. Anguka nayo kama unapati na magwash. Anguka nayo round 2 kwa hii bash. Anguka nayo ati anguka nayo, anguka nayo, naye, anguka naye, anguka naye.
Pawa Radio.